Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teagle, with like always is Noah Bailey. So, we have both finally seen all of season 4 of Invincible. So, we're going to be reviewing that today. What are your thoughts about the season as a whole?
I think it's a great season. I think it had some really high moments, a lot of good fights. It did a really good job of pulling me in and then doing a lot, but still feeling like, wow, I really want to see where they go from here
Mm-hmm.
because the way it ends is such a strong ending that I'm just like, wow, I need season 5 already.
Right. It's fascinating how, the final episode of this show, which I'm to make sure you add to that, the final episode of the show, I think, stands in a similar tier to the final episodes of the other seasons, even though there wasn't any fighting
Fighting.
in the
Yes.
entire episode. There was one
Right,
punch thrown, but
because
it wasn't really about
it
a
didn't
big
really do
fight.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like I think it was so story driven and so the implications of potential violence was more than the actual violence in this case.
Yeah. I do I do kind of question just throughout the entire season, I kind of felt like Cecil is kind of on fraud watch.
Yes.
First of
Yes.
all, first off, you just let Conquest go. There were no fail safes. There were no self destruct button. There was no space laser. There were no kaiju. There were no reanimate. There was nothing. No, you know, inner brain sound thing.
Hmm.
No, you just left him in a place that you clearly wasn't enough to handle him, and he got out no problem. It wasn't like a Tai Lung situation where someone messed up and they gave him something that he could use to escape. No, he just got out.
He just flew down and then back up.
Yeah. So already that's a problem. And then in this last episode, he Cecil somehow just didn't know that the Viltrumites were already on Earth and had been there for seemingly a while.
Yeah. That's my thing. I'm like, there's no way because he said there's 37.
Mm-hmm.
So that's either all at once or all within the span of like a day. 37 different beings have just landed on your planet. There's no way
Mm-hmm.
Cecil doesn't know that. Like, there's not,
You could detect
like,
Alan coming from who knows how far
right.
away. You were able to intercept him up in space, but you couldn't even if they surely they had to have flown here on a ship of some kind. But even if they did
Yeah,
descend individually, you knew they were. How did you not know they were here?
that's my thing. Like, there had to be a ship or something. And I understand, like, maybe there's, maybe they have, like, cloaking technology or something. But I'm like, I don't know. That wasn't really said or explained. So
I guess Anissa did also just kind of show up.
that is a good point.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Viltrumites can just kind of do that. Huh.
Well, I mean, well, okay. And one thing to remember too is, I guess when Alan showed up the last time, he
Mhm.
wasn't to the level that he is now.
Yeah.
So he probably can't fly nearly as fast, where he can just appear on planet by the time before anyone realizes it.
Hmm.
So it probably, yeah, it's like they probably just flew their ship to a certain point and then just blitzed onto the planet quickly, I guess.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
I guess. I also kind of take issue with like I understand, and again we'll get kind of into all this in a bit, but I understand that Mark was going through a lot this last episode, you're just having severe PTSD and just had a lot on his mind. But when he was having that conversation, that debrief with Cecil about what happened, he didn't bring up the fact that Conquest was out there. He didn't think that was important to talk about.
Oh, yes and no. I understand. Like, the fact that now we are 100% sure Conquest is dead,
Hmm.
aside for some vague like ending scenes,
No,
but
that was a
like
great
now
joke.
I'm just kind of with that, and also the greater threat at hand. I think it's kind of just like we'll cross that bridge when we got bigger fish to fry at the moment because Mark's like they can just show up at any second and just rip the planet in half.
But I feel like even just one little line about something to the tune of Mark just saying something like, "Am I sure I can trust you after you let Conquest go?" Or like something just, like, "Are you sure you can
Yeah,
handle
that
this after you
conquest thing's
didn't handle
crazy.
Conquest?" Just some little line like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll probably address it early in the next season for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think just at the time it was just kind of like, hey, like yeah, whatever. At least I killed him, so like we have bigger
Yeah,
fish to fry at this moment.
yeah. There were even like,
But
I feel like there was at least one other instance of that kind of thing happening where, um, when Mark and Battle Beast first met in like episode 5 or 6, I feel like there maybe could have been, I don't know, something referencing the fact that they had already fought and like Battle Beast like obliterated them last time. Mark being like,
right,
"Oh, like what? We're working with this guy now?" Like I don't know. That just kind of. I guess he's like. I guess at this point you gotta take whatever help you can get, but also I don't know. He. This was the first guy that Mark like had a struggle against. I feel it should have been a bigger deal that he was now
yeah,
here.
and especially when they were just on the ship for like I think they said 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that probably should have come up in some capacity, just because like, hey, aren't you the guy that almost killed me that one time? Yep.
Yep.
Okay then,
Okay.
and that's it.
Mm,
I thirst for battle, and like yeah.
yeah. I love Battle Beast, just his entire personality, just his
Yes.
like need to just monologue about just stuff. I do think they could have done a slightly better job emphasizing his sheer veracity in that episode 7 battle, because yeah, he didn't actually kill any Viltrumites in that fight. He fought off a couple, but I feel like if you were ever struggling, it should have been against like 3 or 4 at a time, or against
Yeah.
Thrag himself. Like they're not going to have a real fight until later, which is at least as far as I understand from the comics. But and I understand that you're in space and it's not his natural element, but I still feel like the show could have done just a little better job at showing just how powerful Battle Beast is against Viltrumite specifically. But
Yeah, especially like he kind of did it before because he 1v1 that other guy and apparently won
yeah.
pretty easily. So
Mhm. Which, fun fact, I saw someone do a breakdown where, um, from the moment Nolan says there's about 50 Viltrumites left, from that point until Thrag says there's 37 of us left, they there's exactly 13 confirmed killed Viltrumites between that point.
that's
So
crazy.
that's really cool.
That's crazy. Like, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, to be like accuracy, and it's like, because again, every one dead is one step closer to like, oh, we made it. But I don't know, man. It's crazy too because we still like. Why are we not like figuring out Space Racer's gun and mass producing it? Because
Right?
what are we do? Like the fact that we're doing anything else is
Uh,
just beyond me. I mean, the gun literally goes through anything,
yeah.
straight up, no stipulations, all types of people and or planets included.
Mhm.
So no, like I don't care about like respectfully to the Scourge virus as well as those like darts, which do work, but I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, we need Space Racer's gun. We need it basically mass produced immediately.
Like, I'm sure that would get out of hand, but also do what you gotta do. Like,
I mean, like, I'm not saying forever, but like for the war to save the galaxy slash universe, yeah, like
yeah,
do what you
yeah.
gotta do.
Mm. I do kind of feel like I kind of feel like the Ragnars were also a little too overpowered, because I understand why they were so strong as they were on their home planet with the intense
Mm-hmm.
gravity that the Viltrumites like don't know how to deal with right away. But in space, I feel like Viltrumite should be able to see them coming and just dodge. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they can't fly, to
Yeah,
my understanding.
I
That was
don't
made
think
very
so.
clear. Maybe that was just on their planet though. But I'm like, there's nothing like there's a different like it's not like, oh well they can still fly. Like there's nothing to push off of. There's no friction. There's no
Yeah,
like you're just in space. You can either fly or you can't.
they
There's
could
no
jump
like,
really
oh I'm
high,
so yeah,
but
you can't like being so strong doesn't really matter without any type of propulsion. So it's like,
mm,
yeah, I kind of feel like that was kind of weird. I feel like I kind of wish they'd have taken the fight to the planet almost just to kind of give it a full like chance, but it's also like,
the battle like it wasn't Viltrumite isn't or Viltrum isn't close to that planet, so I understand. Like, I get why they didn't do that, but it almost feels like at like it almost feels like the writing they kind of wrote around the fact like, oh, we don't need Tech Jacket, we don't, or not, it's not his name, what's his name, yeah, Tech Jacket, Tech Jacket, we
yeah,
don't need Tech
yeah,
Jacket, we don't need Battle Beast to like be like carrying these fights, even though they were kind of built up to be Viltrumite killing machines, even though neither of them killed a single
right.
Viltrumite. We don't need them to be super powerful because we have these Ragnars coming in just a little bit, and then they kill like five of them. Like, it feels a
It
little,
did go crazy, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It just like, so I just have a couple of little nitpicks here and there, but overall, um, like, yeah, the final two episodes, actually, really three episodes,
Yeah.
or the second half of the show was fantastic. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. As soon
Um,
as everything after Nolan and Alan showing up on Earth is like the best stuff.
yeah, and I do think there's still some good stuff from before. However, um, as we mentioned when we reviewed the first three episodes, uh, I didn't need another dragon episode. Like, I as much as I like oh, I can't think of his name, the Titan. As much
Machine
as I like
Head.
Titan as a character, as much as I absolutely adore Metalhead. Metalhead? What's
Machine
his
Head.
Machine Head, yeah. As much as I love him, he didn't need another instance of big dragon guy who just he's still not even beaten. He's still just around. Um, like, it was a fun instance to see Mark like how he's improved, because before he was struggling against the guy, now he basically one tapped him. So that was fun, but also I felt it just kind of it wasn't like paced in a way that made it super interesting, especially when compared um, to the Flaxen invasion, which I actually really liked, and which we could have actually seen a little more of that.
Yeah, that was
Um,
pretty awesome.
I almost feel like, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this. I personally liked the Hell episode more than most people. I know it's a lot of people's least favorite episode of the show, and I
Hmm.
kind of understand it. It's probably the most fillery episode we've gotten. It's not really filler because I think it does like like there is theming there about like, you know, just the idea of I am blanking on so many names right now. What is
Dark
the name?
Blood.
Yeah, of Dark Blood trying to summon Nolan and accidentally summoning Mark. Like, that's interesting. Um, like, you know, him at this point is like literally being mistaken for Nolan. That's cool. Uh, Basically getting permission from the devil to kill whoever. That's kind of also interesting. Um, but I do kind of agree that the episode being entirely, like pretty much entirely, you know, Hell Dimension stuff, and it wasn't like paced the best. And also, I felt like the fight at the end, even though they like fully revived Satan, who clearly had this like magic ability before to heal and summon stuff. As soon as he like got his powers back, he didn't do anything. He's just
No.
kind of big, another big strong guy, which I feel is missing the point of what they were going for when he was in a weaker state. Also, Darkblood
Yeah.
had magic on the surface, but he never used it down below. Like, I don't know. It just felt like there was some potential there that just wasn't tapped into, kind of throughout. That I enjoyed it more or less, but it definitely the entire time I was like, this. They could have done a little more with this.
Yeah, I felt very like kind of like you said, like the pacing was kind of lackluster, and I also felt like it was just tough because like a lot of the stuff they were doing just didn't feel that interesting. It was kind of like, oh, Dark Blood's got this like family kind of, but they're kind of
Mhm.
all the same, and it doesn't really do anything. And then we have this giant, we have this like, oh, this villain was kind of interesting, like, lava villain, whatever her name is, I don't
Mhm.
remember. But then Mark immediately just one taps her,
Yeah.
which like was funny, but it was also like, okay, like, did we really spend like, why did we spend 30 minutes just to build up to that?
Yeah. You spent, over half the episode trying to revive Satan to his full power, and then
He
you
does
didn't
nothing
you didn't need him anyway. Like he
at
didn't do
all.
anything.
You literally didn't need him at all. You could have just walked. Like the fact that Mark could have done this whole thing in 5 minutes
Yeah.
just with more information, I think is what also makes it kind of annoying because it's just kind of like we literally did that for nothing.
Yeah. I I don't know exactly how the entire show would look if they did it this way, but I almost kind of wish that they fused the best parts of episode 3 and 4 together to essentially have the B plot of episode. Let's say they do this episode 3. The B plot of episode 3, that be Mark being in hell while the Flaxons are invading.
Mm.
Like I think that would give them more of an excuse to kind of truncate the hell stuff. That could like while the Flaxons are invading and like because last time it was only really stopped because Omni-Man showed up, and this time Oliver's there, but he's not still not at the Mark's level, especially when they do have Viltrumite proof suit things. Like I
Yeah.
think I think that is still an opportunity for Oliver to try to step up in his dad's absence in a similar way that he did against the dragon. Um,
And then get clapped.
yeah, like especially since this was something that Nolan took out single-handedly, easily. Oliver coming in to try to do it and just not, doing fine, but not nearly to that extent.
Yeah.
While Mark is literally in a different dimension dealing with nonsense
Right.
down there. I
Yeah,
think
and kind
that,
of wasting time, and then come
yeah,
back and realizing he's been wasting time, and like, oh,
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, he stopped a potentially Earth ending threat, but while he was doing that, there's another Earth ending threat up there.
right.
So, yeah, I really think that would have been a lot more interesting than them being two separate episodes and just kind of both kind of meandering. And it's not like they took away from stuff. Like as far as I understand, the comics went like they showed pretty much everything from the Viltrumite War from the comics. So it's not like they removed anything, but I still feel like it like I don't know, maybe one more episode just about like Mark Oliver and Nolan training about training to fight Viltrumites.
Hmm.
One more episode just because after, and I know this is intentional, but after they left Earth, we didn't cut back to Earth at all. I think it would have been very cool to see what was happening down there while Mark was gone, while Oliver's gone, while Eve doesn't have her powers.
Right.
Like the Guardians, also the Guardians lost their two best people, Robot and Monster Girl. Like, yeah, Bulletproof and Shapesmith, they're cool enough, I guess, but they're really like
Eh,
they can't handle it by themselves. Like, what does the Earth look like when everything is at least city tier? Like,
yeah. And I think the thing too that like kind of I don't know if it's just like I feel like yeah, I would have given more of a concept of like how much time it's been because like when we come back, you kind of don't realize like, oh wait, how long has it been? Like, wait a minute.
yeah, I know in the comics it said 10 months. I don't know if that's we know it's at
I think
least
they did say that.
they did okay
I think so.
because we know that Mark was in a coma for 2 months, I believe,
Yeah.
and it was at least 2 weeks after the climax. So, there being a solid 6 months or so in between that checks out, I think.
Yeah, but I'm like, dang, like being gone for that long, I'm like, yeah, at any moment, like the crazy thing is like so obviously, it's a big deal of in the end of the Viltrumites come to Earth and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But like my thing is like I don't know, like I feel like their plan I feel like if they were gonna do that, why didn't they? I guess, well, no, that doesn't make sense because Thrag didn't have the idea until they fought. But
Yeah, his plan
I'm
is to
like, if they had
repopulate
this, like,
Viltrum, but then that
yeah,
got messed up when they blew it up. So
yeah, that whole thing was crazy. But I'm just like, there's so much other stuff going on. We'll get into it, but I'm just,
yeah.
I don't know. It's like, where you want to? What else do we want to talk about next?
Um,
Do we have to start characters or just things that happened or like what would you have done?
uh, um, I don't want to go to Thrag just yet, but like
No,
I want to hit
not yet.
other.
Can we talk about
Oh,
Oliver?
yeah. What is?
Oliver has gotta like Oliver
He's
was
gotta
asking
go,
for a
man.
girl.
Like
I'm
I
sorry.
don't really like him very much anymore.
I like Oliver, but Oliver, bro, like they spent like the whole trip talking about all right, Thrag is literally the strongest dude in the universe. We are all coming together. The idea was they had like 8 people for just him.
Yeah.
And like hopefully we can jump him and win.
Yeah.
That was the plan. They weren't even sure. They were like maybe.
Like
And
what?
then we get there. He's got reinforcements. Everybody's fighting for their life. Oliver, not even able to hold his own against a regular Viltrumite, beelines it to the final boss. And I just like it's so much work because the conquest thing you knew, like, but this was like, bro, he's like I legit was like, he's gonna one shot him, he's gonna die.
Right?
Like,
Because there are so many different instances of Oliver being overconfident and getting immediately just fucked.
yes.
Because because like against Conquest the second time, not even talking about the first time where he got literally dribbled. Like
I mean, the first time makes a little more sense because
yeah,
like you had to throw hands or or the world was gone. The
but
second time you actively were it for him first when like that was
yeah,
not you had help.
yeah. Like you're like I fought you before. Like you didn't fight him. You just you
You
basically you technically survived an encounter with him, and
Yes,
then
you
you
got one lucky
retreat.
punch in and almost got ripped in half,
You
and then
retreat.
immediately thought you could fight him.
Retreat and is saved by Mark. It's like I feel like Oliver realizing that he was almost obliterated by Conquest should have been his moment to like
Nice.
realize like, oh, I'm not cut out, or like I need to be better at this kind of thing. Because then later he's like, Thrag is there's no way Thrag is that cool, and they're like, Thrag is that guy. It's like, okay, well, there's no way Thaddeus, he doesn't look that strong. He is that strong. Like, stop it. And
Yes.
then Mark specifically sat him down and was like, now Oliver, Thrag is really strong. Do not, do not fight him on your own. He's like, I won't. And then wait.
The first chance he got went straight for bro, and I was just like, I literally thought he was gonna one shot kill. I was just like, he's gonna die. Like he's dead.
Yeah,
There's no chance.
I would
Like
argue Oliver probably should be dead from that because
absolutely
like the fact that they can't breathe in space and he cut his jaw off. Like,
right.
how are you holding it in if how are you maybe something about the bug DNA is making you be able to live longer?
That's the only way you can explain it. Because I'm like, he ripped half your face. Then again, that other Voltramite lady, she got half her face knocked off, and
She
she's still
wasn't
doing her
in
thing.
space when it happened.
Yeah, but like, still, I mean, how do you deal with your face being ripped apart
Yeah.
in general?
There
Like,
are a couple of
I don't
other.
know.
We'll get back to Oliver in a second, but just tangent real quick. There are a couple of Viltrumites that I feel like you have lasted way too long, and I know for a fact you're going to last. Like Steve Harvey, whatever his name is, like that guy he should have been
Steve
dead back in
Harvey
season
Voltramite.
2. Like,
Yeah, no, but like. the fact, because he originally got his like guts knocked out by Nolan,
and then
was
impaled
like
by a big rock.
holding them as
Yeah,
he like kicked them. I'm like, this man was holding his intestines while fighting. Like,
right.
bro.
Yeah, and then Hair Lady got got her jaw knocked off,
Yeah,
and like,
yanked into the meanest elbow you've
mhm.
ever seen.
And I know that it's a thing where like essentially all the reason why all of these Viltrumites are around is because they were able to survive the purge. Therefore, they're just better than everyone else, and they can survive and regrow and regen from pretty much anything. But like, it's getting to a point where I'll go ahead and say this. It's getting to a point where it's not that like there wasn't a tension during that fight, but by the time Thrag stabbed Nolan, I'm like, oh, he'll be fine. Like it didn't shock me
Yeah,
that he did that. Like,
yeah,
oh, he'll survive that. Like Mark survived the same thing 2 episodes ago, and he's younger, and
literally
like Thrag is stronger, but he like there's no way
didn't
Mark
kill you
Nolan's just
for
gonna
some
go out like
reason.
that. Like he's fine.
Yeah, but then he just takes Thetis and just does him like a Lego and just takes his head off, and I'm like, okay, so you can do that in an instant, but then you were just toying with
Yeah.
everyone else, like,
Uh, yeah.
I
So
don't know.
we'll
That's
pin on
like the
that for
only
just
confirmed death is head ripped off
right.
or like hole in you from Space Racer's gun.
Right. Like it basically either heart or head. If one of those go, your entire thing goes. So like that makes sense.
I
Um,
guess, but like even
I
then, it's
guess.
like who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, Oliver, you need to get better at better at this now, or else like whatever. Maybe it's just my bias with Peter Cullen from Transformers, but
Yep.
Thetis was amazing. Just like
Yes.
Peter Cullen is so good at giving emotional like big speeches like that. like like they knew what they were doing casting him as that, and then they got Frank Welker to play the
That's crazy.
the like evil King Viltrumite guy. Like
Yes.
that was so good.
That was insane. I was not expecting that. That was so they're just immediately butting heads. I'm just like, bro, I
Yeah.
feel like why do I feel like I've been here before?
And Mr. Krabs just sitting in the corner.
Nah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, just elite voice acting, man. Just really solid. Yeah, I hate that Thetis is gone because Thetis was a great character. Also, can we talk about Thetis? Like, not that I'm surprised that bro was absolutely jacked because he's a Viltrumite, but
Yeah.
it still caught me off guard. like,
like like him being able to just like basically two tap with the snap that guy's neck just like it's nothing.
yes. No, I mean it's so funny because he's just like it's like he takes off the like baggy rope, and I only think like, oh no, he's hot. Like he's just
They say you
enormous.
get stronger as you get older, and he's pretty old.
Yeah, but maybe I'm like he hasn't like Thetis has I assume has been like concealing his being a Viltrumite, so he probably hasn't
Mm.
thrown hands in like centuries and is
Yeah.
immediately piecing up these Viltrumites like it's nothing. I'm
I
like,
mean, it's a
bro,
very similar vibe to Iroh in after the
yes,
eclipse.
yes, just I mean it's just like the most deadliest thing you've ever seen out of nowhere, and
Mhm.
now he that was so satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
I think there was one other thing. Oh yeah, them blowing up the planet was like some of the just most awe-inspiring like animation the show has put out so far. Like
yeah.
I adored that entire sequence.
Yeah, it looked really good. It was also really cool to see, just like, all right, like it took some time, but it was just impressive that like they
Mm,
can just kind of tunnel through the core and then go all the way through. Obviously, I need Space Racer's gun helps, but it's like
yeah.
I don't know, I always think that's so interesting because I'm like, does that have to be like right at the center of the planet or like because like it's a planet, so like
Hmm.
being off by a millimeter is like hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how does that like how do you aim that? You know what I mean? Because the gun's only this big, but
Mm. Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was really cool how they
he's
did it.
It's a good shot, I guess. um,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go in on Thrag.
Oh man.
Like, wow.
Listen, people were talking. They were like, I don't know, man. They're hyping him up. He hasn't done anything. And like, to be fair, he hadn't.
He hadn't,
But
even
when
though he
he,
was, hovering in a ship over the enemy's main planet. He just didn't do anything during that first encounter.
yeah,
Like leading like a lot of fans to think like this is our guy. Like he sounds kind of weird. Like what are we doing here? And then no, he just give it an episode. Like
yeah, like let him actually start. Like he's one of those like I let my soldiers fight first kind of guys, which like
yeah.
I respect that. I think it's kind of cool. But I'm like, man, when he start, first of
Mm.
all, we talk about how like this man, it's the casual that like he was just like Space Ranger shoots his gun, goes through one guy, clips
Mm.
in like in someone else. Thrag just like
Backs up.
no, absolutely no care in the word, just like nah, bro. You already knew after that. It's like, oh no, and then all that he tried to punch him in the face just gets like a perfect parry with your hairline is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like I
Like, how do
don't.
you punch someone the hardest you have ever punched someone and you take recoil damage?
That's what I'm saying.
and like this man is so strong he can break the laws of physics. Like
Yep.
him basically doing a super move uppercut on Omni-Man. What
Bro,
was that?
no, like the way he winds up, and then it pulls him, like it pulls him,
Why?
and it's the funniest part is like you can see Nolan looking around, like what the heck's going
Where
on?
I'm still going. He
Like
hits
he's
someone
looking around,
else
like
and keeps
why is the
going.
room like it's like an automatic sex event. He punches him so hard, he flies up into orbit, breaks the sound barrier multiple times, flies past the entire fight, flies through the freaking ring of asteroid people, and like we leave to him, go to something else. 5 minutes later, he's still going. like, like you got hit. Like, I mean, that's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that.
And I've seen some people kind of question like, oh, why did that not really hurt Nolan, but he just got stabbed easily? Well, it's been documented throughout all of Invincible that like blunt objects don't really hurt Viltrumites the same way that like stabby ones do. Like every single time we've seen the Viltrumite actually get hurt by something, it's by like a stab. The giant insects that Duck Seismic had, the dragon, like anytime a Viltrumite really gets hurt by another Viltrumite is either like a cut or a
Yeah, like
stab
the
with
chop
their
thing.
like you know like when your hand is like
Which,
this and your hand is invincible, like it's gonna feel more like a sword
yeah.
than like a club.
Which does beg the question: why don't they just do this instead of like? What's the point of punching when you can just
Look,
cut through people?
that's a thing that in every single like
Yeah,
Transformers
exactly.
is
Yeah, it's like
infamous
if
for
they
this kind
could.
of thing where like
Yeah.
Bumblebee has knife hands and he just never uses them when he should.
Yes. Yes. Correct. It's like, oh, why don't they? Why did they just do that? Because why don't Earthbenders just crush everyone immediately? Because plot
We would have a
needs to
show
go.
if they just did that.
Yes, basically.
Um, yeah, like I I'm very very curious like how they're gonna handle Thrag going forward because he's just kind of around and like he's probably not going to be antagonistic, but also if he does
I
decide to
mean,
do something, we lose.
dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, at first, I thought it was they were gonna try to make this final stand for the planet and all that stuff, but I like it so much more that it's just, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna bother you. You're not gonna bother us. But like, if you decide to bother us, we'll just flip the game board. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't like it's
just the
it's just
idea
like
of Thrag existing on Earth was enough for Mark to be like, I can't handle this. Like,
right. But it's like you lit like he's not really asking. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like you reasonably can't stop him.
mm,
There's 37 Viltrumites. to your what, one? I mean, so like you're gonna lose. Not to mention it's Thrag, so it doesn't matter if you had 37.
Hmm.
Like no, like Shapesmith's not doing that. Like you know, like the Guardians
No.
are. There's nothing the Guardians have that can do anything to one Viltrumite, let alone
Best case
37.
scenario, they throw him into another dimension with that portal they were using to try to find Monster Girl. Like that's the best they could do. Even then,
Yeah,
that's
but
probably not going to work.
even
He could
then,
just get
it's
back.
like you'd have to like find another dimension or banish him to the Dark Wings dimension or whatever that was or something.
Yeah,
You'd
maybe
have to do
work.
some version of the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous because there's like the fact that they're just on Earth and like it's so genius too because it's like clearly we can make strong Viltrumites, which I would argue you might even be stronger because I mean Mark's the fact that Mark was able to get that strong
Mhm.
and is on this level with despite being the youngest outside of Oliver, the youngest Viltrumite by a mile
Yeah.
is like insane. So yeah, I feel like they're like, yeah, we'll just be here, get a bunch, and then my thing though, and I don't mean this to be like again, I understand there needs to be a show, but like if I'm Thrag, I'm not doing this peacefully. I don't understand the point of that. Like I don't it doesn't make sense to like abide by the rules here. Cause like you could
Yeah.
just take the planet instantly and
I
like you win and there's
in
nothing
theory,
really that they can do about it because like
so
even if
I
they call the coalition of planets, I have all of my Viltrumites here, you can't stop me.
yeah. I guess the idea is Thrag's goal is repopulate the Viltrumite race. The
Yes.
best, most efficient way to do this is to do it covertly. Is to not
Is
let
it?
like if you subjugate people, like I feel like they're gonna be more likely to resist. Like they're not gonna like want to do it willingly. But if you just exist on the planet, it can and you have your picket whoever. Like
Mm,
there's like I feel like
yes,
there may be
but
a better
like
chance of it
I
working.
mean I get that, but I guess on the other hand I'm like does it really matter? I mean, I could like again, assuming I'm a monster, like I can just do whatever I want. Like I can just
True.
take stuff. Like you know what I mean? It's like so it's kind of like God forbid they find out about sperm banks. Like
Uh,
that's kind of over.
yeah, I do also kind of feel like that's a not. I don't know if issue is the right word, but definitely something that I feel recontextualizes a lot of season one when Nolan said, "Oh, I was actually sent to Earth to see if you know if the Earth females would be a viable host for future Viltrumites." But no, he wasn't. He was definitely sent to subjugate it. I feel like that's a different thing. But then,
Yeah,
because after he is able to have Mark, why did he wait so long? I guess he
that's
wasn't
kind of
sure
my
if the
thing.
baby would have powers until he did. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't that whole yeah the whole timeline thing with Nolan. I don't really understand because realistically why even, I mean, I guess it's like, okay, figure out the planet's weaknesses and then basically take over the planet, which I feel like he could have done pretty much in like like a month, pretty much, because
Yeah.
he met Cecil immediately. Cecil, you learn about Cecil, you learn about the other Guardians of the Globe. Okay, they're this
Mm.
strong, whatever. Sure, maybe a year or two lull them in a sense of security and then take the planet. They can't really stop you. The whole thing with Mark, it's like, yeah, I don't really understand, but I guess like if that was his order, but I don't know if it actually was. Like, because I don't know, it feels so weird that Thrag's so against the idea
Mm.
until it's his idea, then all of a sudden it's a great idea.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, I feel like reasonably you would have to do that anyway because there's so few of you. But
Mm.
yeah, I feel like the whole thing with Earth is just like, I find it odd that they're just choosing to exist because I'm like, I feel like you could have the same ultimatum to Mark, but just be like, yeah, I'm just taking, we're just taking over the planet.
Yeah.
And if you try to do anything, we're just gonna destroy the planet. But I'm in control
Yeah.
because it's like I guess the ultimatum's the same regardless of if I'm in control or not. It's
It might just be a
like
thing he's just tired of fighting. Although that's not the Viltrumite way, so that's not it. Anissa is
come
not
on
tired of
now,
fighting. That's not true.
come on now. I mean, like I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it, and I get it's a really cool concept because it's a new idea that I'd never thought about. That I think
Mhm.
it's really interesting, but I guess logically, I'm just kind of like, if I'm the strongest person here, and I have the other strongest people here, I can kind of just do what I want. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like, if one, it's like if I have me and 37, 37, 37 henchmen versus one superhero that's not Batman. Like I can kind of, I kind of just it doesn't matter. But I
Yeah.
don't know. It's interesting to see. I'm interested to see how they play it. But I feel like that's gonna. I don't know if they're like. I'm like. So are you gonna just like have everyone have a kid and then just take them somewhere else, or are we just gonna stay here, or because like I guess my thing is like theoretically you can have you can have a bunch of kids kind of around the same time if they plan it, depending on what they're
Mhm.
trying to do, and then just take the kids with you, which will make it way easier to like train them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I'm
It,
nitpicking.
it is incredibly interesting that in Thaddeus's last message to Alan, he mentioned that yeah, the scourge virus is intended to kill Viltrumites, but there's a decent chance it'll also kill all the humans as well. So use it wisely.
Yeah. So did they mean that as far as like it'll kill like Mark and Oliver, or like anything even close to Viltrumite?
I felt like the implication was it'll kill any species that has even similar
Jeez.
like biology to Viltrumite, so humans as well.
Oh, so theoretically, yeah, you just destroy Earth and then the universe is saved. Which, in the grand scheme of things, is like, well, one planet versus the whole universe.
But all my stuff is here. I
Yeah,
like
well, of
being
course,
here.
all my stuff is here, but it's like, well, I don't know. And oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. Alan just kind of being in charge of that. Like, and of course that's gonna set up a plot point. Like, because Alan's not gonna want to do it, but he feels the pressure of the whole universe and
Mhm.
Mark's my friend, but also your planet's infested with Viltrumites. Wait, you got Viltrumites? Mark, this is crazy. Like,
Mhm.
like yeah, I don't know, man. I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do with this. Cause like, is it gonna be one of those things where like Mark just like, wakes up in the morning and Thrag's just watering his lawn across the street? Like, how are we gonna do this? Like,
Right. Yeah.
like
Speaking of future seasons, I am very curious. Like, I know nothing about the comics after this point. Like, what exactly is the main driving antagonist of the next season and
that's kind of
beyond?
what I'm
Because
saying. Like,
we already did we're not done with the Viltrumite war, but we basically did everything in space that we're gonna do. Now we're basically back on Earth for the most part. So yeah, I
what
can't
do we do?
imagine there's gonna be someone else even close to the
No, I
drag.
mean like anything else that happens is literally just like, like it's just getting in the way because it's like who cares about this stuff? We have Viltrumites on Earth, I guess. But my thing too is like, are they gonna like do any like imagine you have like one of the Viltrumites is with their like fake their new family, and then a monster attacks. Are they just gonna punch it into orbit and just like go about their day, or like
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm excited to see how this goes. But yeah, they did this really well. I'm excited to see like how we do this. Oliver's basically, got to be brought back. Looks like he's gonna get a new arm.
Mhm.
But yeah, Nolan and Debbie and that whole thing going. Oh man, I will say Debbie. I think Debbie was awesome this season. I think just the
Yes.
amount of like, because it's like, what do you say to that? Like, the one's like, hey. And he's just like, he's like, I said I'm sorry.
Call me your pet. Like, what do you?
Yeah, you literally used me for intergalactic like war, I mean repopulating your warrior race
Mm-hmm.
while also basically killed Mark, killed all the Guardians,
Mm-hmm.
destroyed so many other
As
lives and
Cecil said, he
everything
killed over
else.
2,300 other people in that process.
That's what I'm saying. And he's like, oh, but that was like months ago.
Right? But then while you're talking to Debbie about that, you then say, "Oh, well, oh, that bug lady, she didn't actually mean anything to me."
Literally.
Oliver overheard that, and then later have to confront Oliver, and be like, "I didn't mean that either." It's like,
Literally. Literally. I'm like, bro, you're just digging yourself into a hole. And it's so crazy because it's like you literally can't even say anything. Because I'm like, the fact that you immediately had another kid is like, bro, I mean, what? I don't know what to tell you. Like,
you
that's
did
just,
say, "What's 18 more years?"
yeah,
Another kid.
literally. You just, I gotta be like, you were not playing about, I could just have
Yeah.
another kid, huh? Yeah, that whole thing is just so crazy. And I understand Nolan's trying to like redeem. And I love how no one is like, no, you don't get redeemed. Like it's very like, no, like you can do good stuff going forward, but that doesn't just wipe out all the terrible stuff you have done. And
Right.
I really think that's good because I feel like a lot of times shows will just be like, yeah, we'll just forget about that and then move on. Like I've seen things online where they're like, "Oh, well, why does Omni-Man get so much crap?" But then everyone forgives Vegeta. I'm like, well, first of all, you can wish people back that Vegeta killed. That's not a thing in this world.
Vegeta didn't
But
didn't like do terrorism on Earth. It's mostly
it's
space
like
terrorism, which is
not
not better,
really.
but
Yeah,
like,
and
it's at
I think
least,
the biggest thing is he didn't pretend to be a good guy for like 20 years
yeah.
and then murder everybody. I think that's the worst part. It's like
Mm,
it's not so much that you were evil, it's the fact that you clearly did this deception for this long to the point that you made a fake family all for the purpose of potentially repopulating your space monster race and also to, enslave our planet.
yeah. Yeah, I get it.
But
I totally understand. Like, I don't think, I don't really think like it's overall like completely irredeemable. Like, I think obviously he has changed quite a bit, and I think in their time in space, Debbie will probably come around. But also, I would be surprised if they don't actually get back together. Not really.
yeah, I feel like we'll have to see, but I think they will get his redemption. I do think he'll probably have to die to earn it officially, but
Mm.
I mean it's gonna take. Yeah, I don't think Earth is ever gonna forgive him. I think
Cecil definitely won't.
maybe no, should he? I mean,
No.
no, he'll definitely use him for his benefit because we need him. But I mean, it
Hmm.
doesn't mean I'm ever gonna trust you again. I mean, he still killed all these innocent people and all Earth's original mightiest heroes, which
Hmm.
I am convinced would be much more formidable
Very
than our
much so.
current level of
Yes.
mighty heroes. Because man, they
They're not the best.
they get hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Like thinking
Um,
about in context now with everything we know about Viltrumites, Red Rush was able to like dodge Nolan pretty significantly.
oh yeah, he was
So
he was
I'm
a lot
like,
faster than Nolan was moving in that
that's
scene at
what I'm
least.
saying. So I'm like, if he's that fast, no, now that we know that Nolan's one of the strongest Viltrumites, I'm like, this dude was insane.
I do also kind of feel like this show has a bit of a power scaling issue where in any given scene, a Viltrumite is as strong or as weak as it needs to be for the scene to work.
Yes.
So like if Nolan at his strength now were to fight the the like Nolan during the Viltrumite War were fighting the Guardians. Like as far as his strength level in those scenes, we're fighting the Guardians in that scene. Nolan would have just obliterated them because he's
Yeah,
clearly so much faster, so much stronger, so much more durable. Like I don't think a War Woman's mace would have done anything to him
or water.
or water. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think part of that is also, I mean, I don't want to say he's holding back because he obviously murdered them all, but I mean, I think he probably like wasn't going as full force, maybe. I don't
yeah.
know.
It it's a very different scene in the comics where in the comics he basically just one shots all of them and makes it look like a complete mystery, whereas in the show he he actually fights them and then is found at the scene, passed out. I don't know if it's intentional that he like intentionally took a lot of damage to make it look like he was also jumped, but it's at least a very different way. I honestly kind of like how they did it in the show better personally. Um, but the comics did make Nolan feel more powerful in that moment than it did in the show. So, different
Yeah.
interpretation, but for a show, I think it is more fun to actually see it actually play out.
Yeah, no, it was bad, but it was pretty awesome though. But
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like the show. I mean, I feel like the show's in a really good spot right now. Like it ends really well. Like you have, and now you have these ultimate, the ultimate threats of the entire show are just on standby in a
yeah,
way that we've never. I mean, because we've never really seen more than like what, like five Ultramites at a time.
yeah.
37 on the whole planet is terrifying.
Absolutely. I am also like honestly kind of excited to see if season 5 does more like not street level threats, but like more a little more grounded, like Dinosaurus. I think apparently he's gonna
Yeah.
come back in a bigger way. I think he's a decent level of strength that I just kind of generally find that tier of strength for any given superhero thing to be a little more interesting because like once you get up into space and you start fighting in game level bosses, it just it just kind of like the stakes start to feel a little weirdly the stakes start to feel a little lessened because oh it's either the villain is going to absolutely obliterate you or we got to band together and find somebody to beat and it just feels a little better to me like let me put it this way essentially I've kind of had this thought for a while now. Essentially, I overall think I like the vibes of Invincible better when he is Spider-Man as opposed to when he is Superman.
Yeah. Makes
That makes
sense.
sense. Yeah, when you're fighting like
Yeah.
you know, yeah,
Titan and
and like you can still fight monsters and stuff, but not like Earth-ending,
right.
like threats
When
and that kind
every
of thing.
threat is the end of the world, it's like it kind of loses its luster. It's like, okay, can we just have this is bad for this specific day?
Yeah, kind of the same way that I could see I personally I'm not like I like Dragon Ball from I was not like a huge like the biggest fan ever, but like I like Dragon Ball fine enough. But I feel like if I were to actually just like watch the show, I feel like I personally would vibe more with actual Dragon Ball as opposed to Dragon Ball Z, just because
That's
it
fair.
is a little more grounded and just I don't
Yeah.
know. That's kind of like that vibe a little better than just every single fight is fate of the world, like giant laser beam. Like I like big beams, I like giant explosions, but you know when you get just when the fight can just be won by like an intricate like fisticuffs and then that kind of thing. I feel like that's just kind of more my speed personally. So I'm interested to see if this show goes more that direction with season 5. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited, man. Yeah, I think they will just to like one, I think they'll kind of give us not a break, but like lower stakes season. So I could see
Mm-hmm.
a couple of things come like dinosaurs coming back. I could see, stuff with the order or, that being a big deal coming
Yeah.
back. Could potentially something. I mean, isn't Engstrom still out there again?
Yeah, he is.
So I mean,
I
I
don't
could see him coming
kind of
back.
tired of
I don't
him.
really, yeah, I don't know. I've kind of got my fill of Engstrom, but I do love Sterling K. Brown though. But I
Yes,
feel like,
absolutely.
yeah, I feel like Angstrom kind of as a whole, I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
over it in
There's
general.
all
But
those 8 marks that are on that planet that Angstrom sent them to.
oh yeah,
The Flaxons are still,
yeah,
they
the
got to get Monster
Flaxons are
Girl and
still doing
Robot
their
back.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to figure out all that and yeah, the Monster Girl robot. Something else I feel like we're missing. I
Um,
don't know, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of
yeah.
stuff. We got to figure out what
Dark
Alan's
Blood.
gonna do with
He's
his
gonna get,
thing.
something. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I think they said the next season's coming out next April. So, yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
very good.
Yes, don't let us wait. Just keep cooking.
Absolutely. Speaking of cooking, um, Darth Maul Shadow Lord might
Bro.
be my favorite Star Wars animated show.
Dude. Yeah, listen. This show started off really good,
uh,
and then it got better. And then the last episode, bro. Well, I guess the last moment of the episode of episode 9, and then bro, dude, I literally like knocked my popcorn out of my seat. Like it was so much. Like, oh,
like, after it
like
after it cuts from from that to like the title card going from Imperial March into Duel of the Fates. I remain was like, man, I know this is fan service, but I am a fan.
literally.
Like, I'm a fan. I'm okay with it. Like this show knows exactly what it is, what it should be, what it needs to be, and it delivers on every single element of that. Like, are there a couple of dull moments here and there? Like, I don't really love every single character. I still never like absolutely love the like dad cop character. He's fine, but I didn't like love every scene he was in. Um, but like everything with the Padawans, kind of like gradual, like kind of acceptance of her darker side. Obviously, I like every single scene with Maul in it is fantastic.
Yes.
um, and then like watching him fight a chicken walker like that, I never thought I wanted to see that, but now I want to see that every single show needs to be
Right?
Maul fighting a chicken walker or bigger stuff. Like,
Yeah. The way he cut it and then just nonchalantly finished cutting it, and I was just like, bro.
oh,
I know you're doing the cool guys don't look at explosions thing, but it's still cool to see it happen.
but it's I specifically remember us mentioning when this show, like when we saw the first trailer, we were like, it'd be kind of cool if Darth Vader showed up.
It would.
Guess what happened?
And it's one of those things that like logically makes sense. Like if I'm Darth Sidious or Darth Vader, it's like, oh yeah, Maul escaped. Oh yeah, we found him. You know what? Let's not waste time. Just
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
let's just make
so.
sure that doesn't go anywhere.
It was so fascinating because like I didn't even think about this until they said it. Maul doesn't know who he is. Maul is just like, is that just like a big inquisitor? Like, what is happening right now? Like, who is?
Yeah, yeah, he's like they leveled up, which I I kind of like, but I kind of don't because I feel like he should know who it is logically based on how Clone Wars ends.
But Maul never
But
met. Maul didn't see that happen. He doesn't know. Like he only knows he was.
but he knows that Palpatine wants Skywalker, and Skywalker is the chosen one. So
He doesn't know
it
that Darth Vader specifically
that's
is
true. That's true.
Anakin.
He doesn't know that Darth Vader is like that's true. Yeah, I kind of forget that Darth Vader isn't. like common knowledge to those outside of the Empire. I forget
He's
that
just a guy
sometimes,
that
but it's
shows
like
up and wins. So there's no like anyone that
yes,
does find that out, they die anyway. So
right, and that's kind of part of it. It's like you don't really live to tell the story of the giant scary robot man who weaves like a weaves like an insane amount.
right, like who fights you like he's bored. Like he was fighting
He
three people at the
does,
same time, like it was nothing.
and he was cooking them. Like, bro, like I was like the choreography. First of all, the choreography for the show was amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way that they accurately made it, like three different people with three very different fighting styles
Mm-hmm.
were fighting this man, and Vader was instinctively dodging, blocking, and parrying slash countering perfectly, despite being like 500 pounds.
Right.
Like,
Like
just
he's not Anakin being able to do all those flips and tricks and stuff. He's
right.
like he doesn't need to.
He just nope, no, no. Like the fact that he was like boom, 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 your legs go. I'm like, bro. I was like, yeah,
Right.
we're done, Chad. Like we're
There,
we're out. Like,
there was one very fun moment that was actually a kind of a callback to episode 5 where the like Green Master guy, I never remember his name, where he like nicked Vader on the shoulder and Vader like immediately after that just started just
yeah, he just locks it.
Same thing happened with
Yes.
Luke on Bespin.
Yeah,
Like
literally. It's like
hit me once,
you
no,
get a
no.
hidden. No, literally, it's the equivalent. Like you get a you like I was joking with my brother. We were watching it. It's like, bro, he literally is like, bro, you broke my combo streak. Like, yeah, no, it's ridiculous how satisfying it is. Because like, don't get me wrong, the Inquisitors were awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
really liked how I like how like just sinister they are with just like not talking, just all hands, which I always think is cool. But like, the way they did a really good job of tracking them down, setting them up, and everything else. And like, first it was just one, then there was two of them,
Yeah.
and then they were like, you know what? We're just gonna go. We're not gonna take
Taking
any
the big bets.
chances. And they were like, oh, God. And I love how they like the introduction too, where you're like, there's like this thing out there, and she just gets dragged off like a horse. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Which apparently
my
the voice
God.
actress specifically asked to be killed by Vader like that. So
What an honor.
right. Um I will say I think it did kind of hurt the show just a little bit, the fact that every single main antagonist is a character that we know progresses on to a future thing.
Yes,
Because
but you could
those
also
two,
say that about our main character too.
yeah, and that is kind of an issue just inherent to prequels.
Yeah.
Like none of these characters are gonna die, but I feel like yeah, you can have like the one with like the crow mask. I think he's fine to be here, but the other one in like the basically suit of armor. He actually shows up in Ahsoka, the
Right.
live action Ahsoka show, and actually the Crow Mask is also killed by Ahsoka in Tales of the Jedi. So it's just a little. I feel like maybe one of them should have been a potentially expendable Inquisitor just to have. I know the other one got like knocked off the bridge, but we didn't see a body, so
Yeah. No.
he
I mean, well,
almost
don't
certainly survived.
their lightsabers? They can fly, right?
I like to pretend no, but yes.
Yeah, you know what I like. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I love it, but I mean,
One of those
rebels exist. We
one
can't
of those
we can't
weird
ignore
things
it.
rebels
Rebels does
decide to do.
exist. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, not that all rebels is bad, but like, yeah, that part is kind of annoying, but like,
Yeah.
it does technically work. So they're probably fine.
Uh,
But
yeah. I don't
yeah,
know. I
I
feel
mean,
like they're. I don't think having all three of your main antagonists during that final fight, all of them be people we know survive, helped. It didn't hurt because
you
I
knew they weren't
only
gonna win that.
yeah. I don't know. I almost kind of feel like it would have been maybe slightly better if the three of them together just ultimately forced them to retreat and not like not have the crow guy run away. maybe I don't know. Like I wasn't watching it because I wanted the stakes to be high. Oh, how is Maul gonna, whatever. But like, I just wanted to see cool lightsaber fights. That's what I came. That's what I came
And that's
for.
what you got.
Yeah.
You got a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, even the scene before that, where it was like they were trying to cross while fighting them, like that
Ooh,
was really interesting.
yes.
Like, I really like that idea. Like, that was really cool. And I don't know, like the soul, and all the guys going out, and it's like, well, if I'm
Hmm.
going out, I'm gonna kill as many people as I can, and then like you
Yep.
kill all the people, then knocks them into the freaking
Mm,
acid mud or whatever. That was really cool, and
so cool.
oh, so cool, bro. Like.
Hmm.
But yeah, I love the dynamic that they did, like Maul with the like the Padawan, and it's like, well, like I get it, you're a Jedi, but like the Jedi aren't really a thing anymore, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come to the dark side. You know what I mean? It's like we're trying to survive. We got to get stronger, regardless of what side we're on. They're gonna kill us, so we need to
Hmm.
work together. And I like how they're like, yeah, we're like, yeah, we don't trust him, but like they're not dumb enough to be like, nope, we're gonna be a virus. So it's like, no, the Empire's gonna even stormtroopers eventually are gonna shoot us. Like, we gotta get out of here.
Hmm.
I also like how they're still like not far enough into the future where there's still like Clone Wars esque like gunships and stuff,
Yeah.
but there's also like Imperial walkers. Like, is that not like we're in that in between?
Yeah. I feel like it's about 2 years removed,
Yeah, I
maybe.
felt yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it still feels like they're obviously using there's no more real clone troopers. They're all stormtroopers now,
Hmm.
which is very apparent by their terrible aim and, incompetence. But
Yeah.
yeah, like the ships don't look full Imperial yet, or like,
Hmm.
it kind of like I don't think we saw any TIE fighters. At least I can't think of
Hmm.
any.
I don't think so. No.
Right? So it's like, yeah, it feels like it hasn't been too long.
Mhm.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
thing is like
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, my thing is like, are we gonna explain how we got there though? I guess that's my question.
How we got where? Like how we got like.
Like, where we are in the first place.
Oh no, probably not.
Right? It's just like we're just kind of here.
Yeah.
Which like is fine, don't get me wrong. I'm not like mad about it. It's just kind of like, all right, well, like, are we gonna get like a where you came from? Because like last we saw, you just kind of found a ship
We,
on a destroying Star Destroyer, flew away, and then that's all we got.
yeah. I also feel like not that I need another scene like this, but I feel like I feel like it's inevitable that at some point in season two we're gonna get that scene that shows how Devin and the Master survive Order 66 because every single one of
Yeah,
these has to have one of those somewhere.
of course.
Like how like how are you better than like all these other guys that that are named guys that we know? Like, how are you better than them that you're able to escape? But I don't know.
Yeah, especially like, especially for both of you to survive too. It's like it had to be
Yeah.
something like lucky, like, oh, we just happened to be, separated at the time or something like that. Or
Hmm.
like,
Yeah. It also would be kind of cool if at some point Darth Maul mentions either Anakin or Ahsoka and Devin recognizes the name. Like maybe didn't meet them or did or whatever, but just recognizes the name. I don't know, just
yeah,
little world building thing there.
yeah, he probably would. And also I think it's de- unrelated, well,
Hmm.
kind of related. I know it's one of those things in Star Wars where like Darth Vader doesn't kind of have the same thoughts, emotions, and drives as
Yeah.
like Anakin, but it's
He's a
like,
different
hey,
character.
bro, yeah, it's like, yeah, but it's like he also killed my dad, like killed my kind of dad.
Yeah, I thought about that earlier, but then I forgot to bring it up. Like, yeah, when I was saying that Maul doesn't know who he is, Anakin kind of knows who Maul is. Like he probably saw him from the.
Well,
Was he
he definitely saw him. I mean, he
was
was.
he
I
still
mean,
in the was that ship still there? I'm trying to remember. Was the ship still there? Yeah, it had to have been because he got in that
well,
cockpit. And then stay in that cockpit and then the doors open. So yeah, he definitely would have
Right, because like I
seen
mean, he
Maul.
almost hits him with the speeder, and then he immediately starts fighting Qui-Gon. So we had to at least kind of see him, and
Yeah.
he definitely knows the name because he ended up killing Qui-Gon. So I mean, it's not like
Hmm.
they never talked about him.
Yeah. And surely Obi-Wan mentioned him at some point during the Clone Wars,
Right,
especially after he came back.
right. Especially with all the stuff when he came back, like with that, and he's like, and Ahsoka goes to fight him, and we know Ahsoka never came back. Granted, everything else that would happen, but I mean, there's still the chance maybe he killed her too. He doesn't know
Hmm.
that, but
We know that, well, man, that timeline is so tight, but also I feel there's like, because we know that in the Siege of Mandalore, we know that Ahsoka and Obi-Wan talk at some point about what's about to happen. But I think at that point, Obi-Wan already left for Utapau, maybe? I don't know.
yeah.
It's a little complicated.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because he was already. I don't know. Like, yeah, because they didn't. Because she didn't capture him until he Obi-Wan had already just. I think it already was either at Utapau or had finished with Grievous. So it's like
Yeah.
there wasn't really time to connect. And by that point, Anakin's already basically already a bad guy. So
Yeah. Because, like, I'm pretty sure after Obi-Wan beats Grievous, it's like maybe a few hours on Utapau before the clones go evil.
yeah, because he's like they're like cleaning up, and then he
Because,
gets shot off the mountain.
yeah, because Anakin tells Mace Windu that Grievous is dead. We need, if it's the war's over, it's time for Palpatine to receive him to give up power, and he hasn't yet. Okay, let's go fight him, but you're not coming with me because reasons. And then so it's like a few hours, maybe.
Yeah, if that.
So regardless,
Oh man.
Anakin definitely should at least kind of know who Maul is. I don't know if he really
Yeah.
cares about him in that way since that is so long ago, and maybe he like
Yeah,
gave up
probably.
his
Yeah,
past
he's already. Yeah, but
flavor.
also, you're kind of the reason I'm Darth Vader in the first place, if you think about it. Because if
Yes.
Qui-Gon doesn't die, he probably doesn't turn to the dark side.
I don't know if I buy that. That's the thing people throw out.
Really?
I don't know. Qui
I
Gon.
feel like
Here's a
I
hot take. I don't think Qui Gon's that great of a master. Like there are so many times in Episode One that like Qui Gon says or does things that just feel off. Like one of the first lines, actually the first line of the whole movie spoken by a Jedi is Obi Wan going, "I have a bad feeling about this," because that's the thing that Star Wars people say. And then Qui-Gon goes, "What? I don't feel anything." And then Obi-Wan's like, "I don't know, something dark, something I can't put my finger on it." And he's like, "Just live in the moment. Don't worry about that." Like, what are you talking about?
clearly something is wrong because then they immediately get attacked. But
Yeah. There's a couple of
oh
other
my gosh.
instances of just little things like that just make me feel like, also, during the fight, he didn't wait for Obi Wan to get back up. He rushed towards Maul, even though I feel like you together weren't good enough to fight him, but you on your own, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. I think it's just like because like the whole lore thing is like Qui-Gon's supposed to be like because he's like against not against, but he's kind of like rogue from the council. It's more likely Anakin would have trusted him with the actual
Yes,
problems that was going on,
I guess.
supposedly. But I don't know. It's all. But then again, you could argue that Palpatine would just change his plan or find some other way to kill Qui-Gon.
Yeah, because I mean, in theory, if Qui Gon hadn't died, Dooku wouldn't have turned evil. Maybe.
Right. Right. So it's like that. So theoretically, so many dominoes change. You have to basically make an entirely new plan.
Yes.
So it's like, but then again,
Well,
it's like, okay, but how do I, if I need a new way to control both sides of the war. I
mhm.
don't have Dooku anymore because Dooku is just not involved.
He would
I
still have
assume,
Sifo
like,
Dyas, assuming blah, 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 that's a whole other thing I kind of hate. Whatever.
I mean, yeah, but Cyclone, I don't know.
Like Sifo Dyas in the text of episode 2, Sifo Dyas isn't the real person. Yet Clone Wars is like, yes, he is, but he's not though. Whatever. um, but also like, was it always Palpatine's plan to get Anakin specifically, or was that just a byproduct of like I don't know.
I
It's a
feel
whole
like I feel like I feel like it had to be because he knows he's the chosen one, and
right.
theoretically, if he can beat you, so it's like you have
Mhm.
to either plan to him to die or join you in order to win,
Okay, good point.
theoretically. So it's like
Yeah.
you kind of have to make your plan around. It's kind of it's kind of like if there's like the ultimate chess piece, you kind of have to either like take it off the board or bet it on your side. But
Mm,
I don't know. I think that's also just
yeah.
I don't know. It's
Regardless,
one of those things that's
you would
go
have
ahead.
10 years to make a new plan at least.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's
So
also like you still have the clones,
yeah.
so they have the same original purpose. So maybe you just have your clones. I don't know, more clones with Anakin, or maybe you time it in somewhere where Anakin's a lot easier. Because there's plenty of times where Anakin's like, just in a ship and could easily get taken down easier, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Then again, I don't.
Yeah.
All speculation, of course. But
Yeah. But
bottom line, this is what we got. But man, why is there not a Star Wars What If show? That's all I'm saying. Like
right.
that, like if they just did that with the Clone Wars art style, like make a Star Wars What If and just do like
I
a
mean, Tales of
couple
the
episodes
Jedi
a
is or
year.
Tales the Tales of series is similar to that, where it's like it's not exactly like different timelines, but it's still in the Clone Wars style in different like time periods that you still
Yeah.
see stuff happening. Even but yeah, you're right. There absolutely should be. What if Qui-Gon didn't
I mean,
die?
I
But
feel like
he's like,
Tales of is good, but I feel like you could do both. Like you could just make a
yeah,
what if Qui-Gon didn't die, or what if I don't know anything and I can also and I mean I think the other thing I'm kind of waiting on is like when are they going to start using Clone Wars art style for times that's not specifically Clone Warsy? Like they do it a little bit with the Tales of series, but I feel like they could do it more.
yeah, I agree. Like like either Rebellion or Old Republic or pre like but between the time of episode 1 and 2, there that could be you know
Yeah, because like the only
more
time
explore
they
there.
ever do it that's like in the original trilogy timeline ish is kind of that one episode with whatever her name is from the
Or
Mandalorian.
yeah, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's like the only
Morgan,
time I
Morgan,
can think. Yes,
Morgan.
Morgan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her.
That's like the only time I can think of that they did like went like
Yeah,
outside of bounds as
and
far as
I
like
didn't like those episodes.
yeah, so it's like I don't know. It's interesting, but I'm like, they could really. I feel like they could do a lot with that, like especially with like Luke Skywalker stuff. I feel like would be
Hmm.
so interesting. And I understand there's a lot of controversy with the whole Luke Skywalker, and is it going to be more Legends Luke Skywalker or more like the sequels Luke Skywalker? But I don't
I
know.
mean, you could just be like Mandalorian Skywalker. Like I feel that's kind of a
That's what I'm
best of both.
saying.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I do also am a little worried about multiple seasons of this Maul show because I can't help but feel like they played most of their cards
Absolutely.
like early. Um,
Yes.
they might have done it as a thing, like, oh, we don't even know if we're getting a second season. Let's just do it all now, and then they are
That's what
getting it.
I think.
Yeah, I hope
I
they
do
have like
think
actual plan and goal for this show.
Well, I think the two things they have going for it, and they still do, they still have with Devin, they can
Hmm.
do, show her training and potential descent to the dark side and, whatever comes with that. I think that by itself is worth another season of interest.
Yeah,
But I think they can do that. And also, with this whole thing, with this, Crimson Dawn and Maul coming
yeah.
back and everything is also a big part of it too.
Which
So,
is which we know that's successful because he shows up at the end of Solo.
right, obviously.
Yeah.
So like that, I feel like is a big season 2 where they
Mhm.
can get into, and then whatever potential shenanigans may come along with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
But
wouldn't. I just kind of fear. Maybe it's just the bad taste of Bad Batch season 2, which you never saw, which don't bother. Season 2 and most of 3, it just kind of meanders. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm just a little afraid, especially with this like kid now just kind of tagging along with Maul and the rest of the crew. I'm a little concerned about him kind of filling that same role that Omega did in that show, where he's just kind
like
of there.
Lawson's son, you
Is
mean?
annoying. Yeah, just kind of there and just it's a
Yeah,
little annoying the whole time.
yeah, because him and Two Boots made it too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see that really making a lot of sense. Like that I don't think they're gonna last very long, just because
Yeah.
I don't know
Hope
that whole thing. I feel like you just at that point you just drop them off somewhere and then move
drop him off
on. Like you can't
with
really,
his mom, who's in the Empire. You don't want that. That he's
nope,
a
can't really do
fugitive.
that.
Unless she defects, but then that's a new problem. I don't
And then
know.
she's also a fugitive, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But like, I mean, I know Devon's gonna want to like protect them, but I'm also like, realistically, there's no way their stories stay together that long. So hopefully they handle that pretty soon, but we'll see.
Yeah. It is cool knowing that Devin is already like pretty good at lightsaber stuff. Like,
Yeah, she got hands.
yeah, she was able like she was dual wielding and fighting off two at a time like pretty
That was
effectively.
pretty awesome.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And like kind of fought Vader and didn't die immediately, so that says something.
not immediately. Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
also random thing I thought about
Mm-hmm.
though. Them having Darth Maul do the like Sidious scream spin thing at one of those episodes was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like that was so sick. I know that's just for like because and so there's no real purpose, but that was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty epic. Like, the show is really good. I really like what they did. I like Maul's like team and everything, but they fall apart, and I'm like, dang, they all died. I'm
Mhm.
like, crap. That was a good little squad they had there.
Yeah, I
But
mean, he'll build up a new team with Crimson Dawn. So that's people
yeah,
at
I
least.
know, but it's not the same, especially with
No,
was it Rook or what is her name?
I don't remember
I don't know. I
names
think
like
it's Rook,
that.
I think. But
Uh,
I'm like, she's been with them since like the Clone War days. So I'm like,
yeah.
dang. She was with Pre Vizsla before with Death
Hmm.
Watch.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing, the whole thing was a really good show. I liked it a lot. I do think that kind of what you said. Like, I am interested to see where it goes with season 2 because, like, I guess we'll see, Maul's descent to back on top of Crimson Dawn as well as Devin becoming a Sith apprentice. But also, does that lead to a rematch with who?
But
Can you imagine you get to the end of season 2 and then again Sidious just
like
knocks
Sidious
on your
shows up.
door? Sidious is like, I thought we talked about this already.
Know your place. Stay down.
He's like, listen, I don't listen. I have an empire to run now. I don't have time to come knock you down every time you tried to build up your little empire. Here, I have things to do. Like that would be amazing. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Which I guess that's how they can lead it with season 2, and then we gotta see what goes from there. But
Do we?
the only thing, kind of like you said, like the fact that we know Maul survives well past this is like a little disheartening,
Yeah.
just because like there's no real. I'm not gonna say there's no stakes, but like for him personally, there's no worry of things going like completely wrong. But
I
everyone
mean,
else, it's like we'll see.
yeah, it's kind of you need to watch Andor. It's kind of the thing with Andor where like we know that Cassian Andor specifically survives, but
Yes.
every other character is cannon fodder. Like you can do whatever you want with them.
Yes. if your name is not on the logo of the show, you are
Yeah,
expendable.
pretty much. We know it's getting more seasons. Do we know of a release date for season two?
Yeah, I feel like only one more season, hope. Like, because I don't know, I feel like after a certain point, it kind of gets kind of like with that. Like, you don't want it to get old or repetitive or lame, where it's just like they're just doing the same. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I feel like the more you do it, the more it like loses its. Like, it's
Mhm.
like, it's even with Darth Vader. Like, it's like if you bring him in every single time, it's not special when you do bring him in. Like, I feel like
Right.
this was really special because this is the first time. Well, technically, I guess technically the third time we've seen him in Clone Wars animation, but like the other time he didn't really do anything. This is the first time we've seen him in Clone Wars
Yeah.
animation actually like do stuff. He still
Yes.
hasn't said a word yet,
That's
but I think
fine.
it's so
I'm
interesting.
okay with that.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I just think it's interesting. So I'm just like,
Mm,
dang, Vader usually be talking that talk.
yeah. Oh yeah, he did show up in Tales of the Empire briefly.
Yeah, for like half
Yeah.
a second, he like sits in front of the other Inquisitors, which I was
Mm.
totally expecting him to like say something about Varys, but no.
Nope.
I'm like, hey, remember
Oh
that
yeah,
time
that.
like a week ago?
Oh yeah, you're right. Like he totally would dislike her a lot, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because it's like, oh hey, remember that thing like 6 months ago when when you kicked me off a building,
Hmm.
and then we had the coolest lightsaber fight in front of all those kids because you got my Padawan almost the death penalty.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
good times, right? Crush, like.
um, I'm not seeing a specific release date for season two, but it's
Probably.
probably next year or the year
Yeah, I
after the
would say probably
latest.
next year around the same time, I would assume, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
All right. Let's see. One more thing for right now. Uh, Actually, a few weeks ago at this point, the first teaser trailer for the Clayface movie came out. And what are your initial thoughts of that?
Looks kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. Like very. I'm not sure. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm not really sure what I'm getting as a whole, but it looks really interesting in my opinion.
Yes. I think my biggest fear with how this movie was pitched was I was afraid of it like being a little more restrained and not going full Clayface. Like, oh, he's gonna be more of the shapeshifter, like that kind of thing. But
Right.
there's at least one scene in that trailer where we see a shadow of like a big
The spike
clay
ball, the
spike ball.
classic.
Like
And like, yeah, it works.
I don't know if we're going like giant, mud monster, but like he's at least using his power to its logical conclusion, as far as we can tell. So that's good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it seemingly going full horror, like uh, there's at least one scene of him at like that like Joker amusement park thing that I absolutely love. Like I don't think Joker will show up in this, but it, like at least using the just Gotham environments to this advantage, I think is very 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 good. Um, I'm most curious to see exactly exactly how this movie will connect to anything, if anything at all, because we've already seen a Clayface show up in Creature Commandos, but there've been at least two different Clayfaces, probably even three or four in the comics. So like this could be a different Clayface entirely. Is this actually going to be in the Matt Reeves Batman universe, like it was maybe originally pitched, but like after the James Gunn restructure, it was like maybe now its own thing. But why is it its own thing without a Batman project even kind of announced? I mean, there is like I don't think this will be attached to Brave and the Bold, so I don't know. I'm curious to see how it'll evolve the whole DC universe as it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I feel like, yeah, I think it would kind of fit in the Matt Reeves universe, but I also feel like it depends on how in depth the powers go, because it's like the universe so far has felt very grounded.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really had any like super powered beings really, sort of. So here it's kind of like Clayface,
Yeah.
kind of like not necessarily breaks the game, but it's like if he's anything like Clayface that we're used to in like source material, or like the
Oh
one we
yeah.
saw in Creature Commandos, like it's kind of game over.
Right. I mean,
But
but if it
we'll
is,
see.
connected at all to the DC, to the Matt Reeves universe, like I know it's a very different team making it, but like, the Penguin show, that turned out to be really, really good. And that's,
Yeah,
you know, like it, which leads me to, unlike with Spider-Man villain stuff, because the Penguin show was good, I am on board for other Batman focused villain stuff. Until we get two in a row that are bad, I am all on board for those kinds of shows and movies.
yeah, agreed. It also just looks really good.
Yeah. Like I said, like the horror element, I think just the clay effect and he like, mushed his face over, I think that just looks really good. Um so yeah, I'm at this point at least I'm actually pretty optimistic about it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. All right. I think that's all I have to talk about right now. Anything else you want to bring up for discuss?
Not really. Just we're getting into big time movie season, so
Yeah,
summer's almost here.
absolutely. All right. So with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care.